Choosing colors for your living room can feel overwhelming. The sofa, the rug, the coffee table, artwork, decor, the list goes on. But if you want timeless, aesthetic palettes that last, I'll show you 3 of my favorites that haven't failed me after all of these years. And they can work with many different styles and moods. The question is, are you asking the right questions when it comes to your living room space? Hi, I'm Jade, an interior designer, decorator, and a lover. I've been in the world of business and homes for over 15 years, and I have styled homes for busy professionals and many families. And the one thing I do know is 100% always true is confidence doesn't come from guessing, it comes from having a framework. I believe your living room space is one of the most important parts of your home, and getting the color palette right along with the style and mood is one of the most important parts of the decorating journey. The color palette isn't a standalone decision here, it's just a piece of the pie. If you're interested in learning more about interior design, decorating, styling for your home, I would love you to hit that subscribe. And if you'd like to know more, jump into the description below and I have linked a downloadable guide for you talking through 3 of my happy home color palettes. Now, I love color, don't get me wrong, but I do love using it in a really specific way. Using color really specifically and correctly definitely brings a balance to the space. Over the years, I have come up with many different really great color combos that work really well with different styles and moods, but these 3 today are really what are hitting the mark at the moment with clients. We're talking all about these sorts of color combos, and I thought, why not jump in and chat through them with you? One of my absolute favorites is an all white palette. Now, I know all white has been going out of fashion and out of trend, but people still love this. And to be honest, sometimes in the right space with the right items, this can look amazing. I love it because it can instantly feel fresh and calm and is a really beautiful harmony to live in. Now, to ensure that this has the feeling that you're looking for, layering is key. Think linen, wool, stone, timbers. Without texture, whites can fall flat or feel stark, but when you're adding layers, the space can feel intentional, cozy, and timeless. If color really does scare you, choosing whites can be a great start. Ensuring that you do layer the whites is essential, but from here you can then decide if you want to take things to the next step. Deciding what style and what mood will really dictate your texture choices. So when you're thinking about your color palette, I really want you to start thinking about the style and the mood you're also trying to achieve. Now, for instance, with an all white or very light palette, most people tend to around here want to go with a really beachy and relaxed vibe. Welcome to linen, textures, and all things white. Layering white items in your living space is really key. Now, I've pulled out some items that I would generally sort of put in front of a client and say, do these things feel nice? Do these things make you want to have the emotion that you're trying to achieve? Relaxed, calm, the mood is really gentle. So in a white living room, finding something with a lot of texture, soft shapes, different kinds of the texture. So some could be rough, some could be smooth and matte. All of these hard decor items that I'm showing all have texture. Nothing is super duper smooth and shiny, and that can be really important in an all white, calm space. Now, for instance, these clients who want all white, want beachy, want relaxed, I would definitely be layering lots and lots of fabrics. So some throws would be really important here. Potentially a covered seat or sofa. and definitely some extra layers in your cushions. These are all going to really help make that space feel calm because there is a lot of a depth to the space. As a part of the all white or really light color palette, most people go for a really light sort of oaky toned timber in items that they would like to be timber. A TV unit or a coffee table is usually made out of a light oak. That helps bring some warmth to the space. As always, anything natural to the space is going to feel nice. We can also add in some greenery in some really light textured pots. You can also vary these in sizes, obviously. Scale is really important here. If you have quite a large space, then you're going to want a really quite a lot larger pot and plant. Now, when you are choosing your throws or your cushions, do look for the little added extras, especially in white. They do make a big difference in how the space can feel, especially if you are going super relaxed and super calm. If you wanted to do the all white with a little bit more mood, you would just potentially add a few extra layers in a bit thicker fabrics, making the material choices just a little bit more specific. It can be really hard to stay with an all white sort of palette and not go outside those guidelines and your framework. And honestly, if it's done really, really well, it will look amazing and feel fantastic. The next one is what my home sort of looks like. So I did pull a whole heap of things across, and it is something that a lot of clients are leaning towards. People are really interested. They're still a little bit scared of because they're not sure how to implement it. They're not sure on so many things, you know, how much of what color, where to put what color. But I think as you sort of venture into this color palette, you'll realize how you like the color to sort of sit and make it the space feel really, really nice and cozy. So this palette is really, really earthy. We have beautiful like terracottas and clays. We have some rich, warm fabrics, some of my absolute favorites. We would have like travertine, marble in decor or in furniture items. Leaning into the style and the mood that you want to also achieve along with this earthy color palette is really important. Some people find that this color palette makes them feel really earthy and grounded, and they still want that calm mood, which is really quite different to someone who still may want the mood to be a little bit more uplifting. So your choices in the materials and specific colors may differ to someone who wants a really, really moody, like a wine bar sort of vibes. You could get a wine bar and you could get a really relaxed living space kind of moods out of this color palette, depending on what you're trying to achieve. What are you trying to achieve? Now this color palette also, you can use, I would suggest multicolored timbers. I would be going with walnuts as well as sort of oaks. There's definitely the nice blend of both in this kind of color palette if you're going for a little bit of mood, a little bit of cozy. I also really like interesting glass in this color palette. It is really, really fun. This color palette is really versatile because you could be picking a really interesting sofa and a rug, and they're your beautiful big purchases, and all of the other things you're sort of like, oh, I don't really know what to buy, or I don't have a budget for too much. It can actually come together really, really easily. If you have the framework and the structure and the commitment to the color palette, you will find that purchasing those specific decor items, cushions in the color palette that you're trying to achieve the style and mood will eventually make your space feel really, really, really amazing. Now, brass, bronze, and some vintage is really going to help here. This space of moody, cozy, needs layers of interesting things. Texture and material is still important, but still you want it to be a little bit more interesting in this color palette, trying to achieve like a really nice mood and style. Earthy palettes are really timeless if they're chosen with really specific intent and interest. You want to make sure that the items that you are purchasing is something that you really love, things that you find unique and that go together in a really coordinated way, but they don't match, as in matchy. We don't want things to super match. We don't want to look like a showroom. We want to look like a beautiful, cozy, amazing home. Your living room color palette also can be a little bit of a standalone. It doesn't necessarily have to run through the entire house. You can definitely be a little bit more specific in the style and mood that you're trying to achieve in the living room, and then pull out a few of those little colors into the other spaces of the home, and that can be really amazing to do. So your color story is throughout the entire home, but your living room has a specific style or mood. Now, last but not least is a color that comes up time and time again, and I love it. It's one of the most popular colors in the world, and how you use it is really interesting, and everybody uses this color differently. And the color is blues. You can't go past blues. I mean, some blues are just beautiful. I love using blues if someone is really attracted to the ocean, they really like outside. Our whole sky is blue, so it can bring a real sense of calm and structure to somebody's living space. Blues can actually bring a lot of warmth to someone. It can make them feel really safe, and it can really bring some depth to a space as well. And depending on the style and mood that you're trying to achieve in your living room, it would depend on the materials, the color choices exactly in the blue world, and how much of which color you would want to put on which item. So for this color palette, let's mix it up a little bit. So we're gonna go with a super cozy mood with a little bit of a mid-century modern twist of a style. So I would be looking at really specific shapes and depths of color of blues. There would definitely be sort of like velvets. There would be an enormous amount of probably walnut in a big beautiful piece. Can you see how those sorts of words and items start to really push into the style and mood that we're really trying to achieve here? If I was to also say, oh, the blues from the ocean at a beachside, that would probably be most likely to most people be a lot softer blues. And that's okay, as long as we're layering, as long as we're using multi-toned of different blues, then it will really look put together and sophisticated, and it will look timeless, because you don't have a super trendy item sitting in there that is the wrong color, because you've been really specific that you know that you're in a color palette that is from here to here, and that is what you are purchasing, painting, getting made, getting organized for your space to actually look like a sophisticated, timeless space. So a few blue items I thought I would just pop up is obviously some books. Some books stacked can look really great. And with another blue item, we can also go with a velvet lampshade. I mean, that is very mid-century modern. Depending on the lampshade itself, the lamp base itself, it would bring a really interesting mood to the space. And of course, there's all sorts of fabrics. If you would like a blue sofa, there is probably about 1 trillion different blue colors and fabrics that you would want to potentially look at. And how on earth are you going to make that decision unless you know the mood or the style of the space that you're trying to achieve? If you are interested in downloading the guide to the Happy Home Palettes, then jump into the description below and download that guide. And I want you to remember that the mood and the style and the color palette all work together as pieces of the pie to really achieve a timeless and beautiful space. Don't forget to subscribe. So leave me a comment, which one was your favorite, and do you have a preference over whites, warm naturals or blues? I would love to know. As always, I'm Jade. I hope you've had a fabulous day and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.